What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Saturday, you guys. Happy Saturday. Now we about to do back-to-back Belle Collectives. We're going to do the regular Belle Collective, and then we're going to do Belle Collective Birmingham. And then I believe at 7:30, the panel will be doing Real Housewives. Nope, not no Real Housewives. The RuPaul Drag Race panel, I believe is at 7:30. So we got a lot going on today. Come on in, come on in, come on in, and take a seat, honey. Hey to the people coming in. Hey to the people coming in. Yes, honey, I got the fresh hair dirt. I got my hair did today, honey. Got my hair did today. Let me say something before we get started. Come here. I got to talk to somebody for a second. I need to talk to somebody. Thank you, boo. Thank you. Carlos King, come here. Hey. Carlos King, come down to the front, please. Right here. Come down here, right here. Carlos King. Now listen. Carlos King, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you because listen, I can come down here and I can complain, so I can tell you thank you when I think you're getting it right. These last 3 episodes of Belle Collective have been really good episodes. Y'all got away from the bullshit storylines that we don't care about, like Leticia and Glenn, and we had Latrice finally tell us what's going on with this restaurant. We had Tambra finally giving us a glimpse into her real life. We have this real storyline with Carrie going on. Listen, this is what we're talking about. When we complain and we say we're not seeing this and we're not seeing that and we're not seeing that, and when production gives us what we're asking for, thank you. So I can complain, but I can appreciate. Carlos King, you and your production team at Belle Collective, these last 3 episodes have been absolutely really good episodes. Thank you. And that's it. I'm done. I mean, when I'm not done with the review, but I just want to say we understand you got to bring us mess. And we even understand that if your stars aren't bringing it, that sometimes you got to add a little spice and you have to enhance. We get it, y'all. But what we want is we still want it to be realistic. And when we can read on the blogs that there are things going on, and then we watch the show and the blogs ain't matching, now we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. So I can appreciate that these last 3 episodes have really been good episodes, if I'm being honest. And I'm going to clip that and I'm going to post that on my Instagram, and I'm going to tag Carlos King because I want him to know we mean it. Like when we complain, we appreciate when you give us something different, okay? So let's get into this episode of Belle Collective, which, again, I really think this is 3 in a row. This is the 3rd episode in a row that I think was a really good episode. I honestly do. We saw the episode started off with Glenn, with the double date between Glenn, Leticia, Latrice, and Cliff. And at the end of the day, we know that the guys, Cliff and Glenn, were friends in real life, right? They really liked each other. They really were friends in real life. And they only stopped really being cool because the women weren't cool. And so Cliff was like, look, I arranged this double date so that we can all get together and we can kind of hash everything out and see what's what and all that. And it looks like they had a good little date. It was a cooking date, which was cute. You know, Latrice still lying about her being able to cook. Girl, it's okay. You are a successful businesswoman. Girl, you ain't got to lie to us about cooking. We know you can't cook, girl. We know your husband eat it because what he always tell y'all, happy wife, happy life. That's why he eat it. But we know. Baby, we know. It's okay. It's okay, Latrice. Basically, you know how they do. At the end of the meal, they were kind of talking and getting caught up on what it was. Latrice said that, you know, having to do this fibroid surgery again, and I'm sure after talking to Tambra about all that it takes for her, for the what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? The word I'm looking for, the paternity and everything. She said, "Look, I'm ready to have a baby now." Baby Cliff said, "You waited too long. I don't want one." Cliff said, you waited too long. No, I don't want one now. You wait. And listen, I can't be mad at Cliff. That was like 3 years ago. And I know Some people might say, well, 3 years ago isn't a big deal, but it is a big deal. 3 years is 3 years. 3 years is a long time, especially when you already older. Your kids are already grown. Cliff said, and so Leticia gonna say, well, you can't stop it from happening if y'all gonna keep doing stuff that it takes to get pregnant. Here go Cliff. Snip, snip. Like, yes, I can. Absolutely, I can. Snip, snip. Now, we're going to get to the conversation they had later on when Latrice said that she wanted to have a serious conversation with him about it because she is ready to have children. Now, they had a whole conversation and never once did I hear her bring up him and kids and not having kids, but we'll get to that when we get to that. The other thing they brought up was this whole thing with Mike and this baby situation. Now, we got some clarity on this. We got some clarity on this. At the end of the day, Cliff was the one that went back to Mike and told Mike. It wasn't that Cliff wasn't the one that said it. So I'm going to vindicate you, Carrie. Carrie, you weren't wrong. You didn't lie. Where you were wrong was that you backpedaled and you moonwalked out of it when Latrice confronted you and said, don't put my husband in this mess. It wasn't that her husband didn't do it. It's that Latrice said, listen, don't bring my... I feel like maybe there's an unwritten rule. Don't bring the husbands in it. Because what they were saying was, listen, that's some Belle stuff. Don't bring the husbands into Belle mess. That's their stuff. So Cliff absolutely did tell Carrie's husband, and Carrie's husband told her, and Carrie brought it back to the group. Carrie really didn't do nothing wrong. The only thing that Carrie was guilty of is that Carrie is a rookie, and Latrice confronted her, and she backpedaled out of it. That's really the only thing that she did wrong, if I'm being honest. Once we got the whole story, girl, the only thing that's wrong is that, Carrie, you didn't stand on business. When Latrice called you down to taste to tell you basically keep my husband's name out of this, girl, what you should have said was, but your husband did say that. Girl, your husband said it. I mean, what you want me to do? Your husband told my husband told me. I brought it back to the group. So we did get some clarity on that. We got some clarity on that. And that was pretty much, they talked about Tambra and all that good stuff, so that was pretty much what happened with that. The next thing we see is, y'all, we see a really real scene with, I want more information on Carrie and her mama. Because, baby, did you see Carrie when her mama showed up? And Carrie was like, damn, my mama here. And I'm not in the mood for this today. I feel like her and her mother have a good relationship. Don't get me wrong. I feel like her and her mama have a good relationship. But I also feel like her mama might be a little bossy. And Carrie just wasn't ready to hear what her mama had to say. Like, her mama showed up on business, and it was clearly a plan between her mama and her husband to run up on her and make her have this conversation that she probably had been avoiding. I don't think anybody was wrong. Thank you, KK. Thank you, boo. Her mom seemed like she can be worrisome. I think that her mom, just like a lot of older people, they don't really talk to you. They talk at you. And I feel like because her mother has been a successful business owner, I feel like her mother's attitude is, listen, I done told you what to do. Why haven't you done it yet? Like, we done already told you what you got to do. Why haven't you done it yet? Now, the flip side of that is I'm kind of with mama and her husband on this one. Carrie, listen, baby. I think right now, Carrie not closed, and I'm sure I'm sure the business is closed by now. But in this moment, when we see this being filmed, I honestly think a big part of this, of her not wanting to close this business, a lot of it is ego. She doesn't want to admit that she failed. Do I think she cares about the workers? I do. I think she cares about the workers. But what I also think is, you could, at the first of the month, say, listen, you guys know things have been slow for a while. Y'all are not, y'all not stupid. I mean, I wouldn't use the word stupid, but y'all are not naive. Y'all understand what's happening around here. And unfortunately, this is the last month. We will be closing our doors in 30 days. We understand that you're going to be looking for a job. When you find a job, please do not hesitate. we won't be offended. We won't be upset if you have to leave before that 30 days is up. We get it. Whatever we can do to help, letters of recommendations, anything along those lines, we will do everything we can to help you guys find another position. Matter of fact, if you're willing to relocate, we have 2 other operations. And if she's hiring in one of her other establishments, hey, if you're willing to relocate, we got a job for you in such and such a place or in such and such a place, right? The reality of the situation is, like her husband said, businesses do close. And people, I don't think, for me, it's never an issue when businesses close and they have to lay people off. It's always about how you do it. And if you have an honest conversation on the first of the month and say, hey, this is the last month we paying the rent. This is the last month we paying the electric bill. This is the last month we're going to order food. And as you know, we're going to sell off what we have. You know, I think people will appreciate it, and y'all will be able to, and you'll be able to move and with your head held high that you did right by your workers. But waiting until the last minute, waiting until you have no other choice, that is when people get upset. If I go to work and my boss says, hey, y'all, this is in 30 days, we got to close. And they say, listen, we'll write you a letter of recommendation, whatever we need to do. And if you need to leave before those 30 days are up, if you find another job and you don't want to work out a 2-week notice, no hard feelings. There'll be no hard feelings because we get it. And I think that, I don't think her mother was wrong, and I don't think her husband was wrong. And I think even the way they approached her was I don't think they approached her in a bad way. But at the end of the day, Carrie, you got to close that establishment. Right. Give them 30 days to find a new job. Yeah. And then exactly, V Spencer, slowly close out. The first week, work your full menu. You know, week 2, we only going to do breakfast and lunch, or we're only going to do lunch and dinner. We're no longer going to be open for breakfast. Whichever one is your most popular meal and whichever one is your least popular meal, cut it out after the second week. Say the first week, we're going to announce it to our customers. We're going to put something on the news so everybody can come down and get one last little hurrah. And after week 1, if business was your, if breakfast was your slow meal, we're not opening up for breakfast anymore. We're only going to be open for lunch and for dinner, and then stay open for lunch and dinner for 2 weeks. And then for the last 2 weeks of the month, say, hey, we're only open for dinner. Come through, have your final hurrah. We're, you know, we got to close the doors. You know, you can't make people buy your establishment. And especially if you had somebody interested, but they couldn't get approved for the loan, you can't sit around and wait. You know, you can't sit around and wait. So, yeah. Hey, Andre, you don't like the way Cliff disrespects his wife. Well, neither do I, child. We'll get to that in a few minutes. What's up, Miss Dismuke? Hey, it's a breakfast lunch only spot. It closes at like 2. Okay, so then I would only do, so I'm going to be honest, I would only do breakfast and lunch for like maybe 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks of the month is breakfast only. We're only going to have breakfast. Maybe if they close at 2, then maybe what I would do is breakfast. And instead of closing at 2, we're going to close at noon. You know what I mean? So people can still come through, get their breakfast, blah, 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 blah. And at noon, baby, that's it. And that gives, again, that also gives people time to go interview. If you need to schedule an interview, schedule your interview for 1 o'clock. Schedule it for 2 o'clock. If you need to, excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. But that just gives people time. You know, it just gives people time. So that's what I would do. And I don't think her mom was rude and overbearing in how she did it, but just very stern. Very stern and saying, listen, no. And then when she said you need to make a decision today, I'm not even mad about that, because you really have been dragging your feet. You've been dragging your feet. We've been talking about this. We're in episode 10. Episode 10 of this season. Girl, you've been talking about this since the season started. You've been talking about this restaurant. So I know that doesn't translate into 10 weeks of filming, but what it does translate into is we've had enough time for you to think about it, talk to your business partner, put it on the market, have a potential buyer. That buy fall through, and now here we are. It's been enough time for you to, baby, you got to shit or get off the pot, boo. But I love that this is a real storyline, and this is real shit that entrepreneurs have to deal with. Unfortunately, businesses fail. And that's probably the scariest thing about being an entrepreneur is when the business doesn't do well. What's up, Quake? Hey, boo. Latrice and Cliff in this sit down one-on-one face-to-face conversation. Y'all tried. And when I say y'all, I'm talking to production. Y'all really tried to have this conversation with Latrice and Cliff discussing their real issues as it relates to their marriage. When Latrice said, "You left me when I needed you, and I will never forgive you for that," baby, that was a serious statement. She said, "I will never forgive you for that." Never is a long time, and never is a strong word. She said, "I had surgery. Not only did I have surgery, but it was my birthday and our anniversary, and you still left me." He said, "You all right? Your surgery was fine. You were good. I had to go check on the business." She said, "No, you went and got drunk." Did y'all peep when she said that? She said, "No, you went and got drunk. You didn't go check on the business." She said, "You went to the bar and got drunk." Did y'all peep it? Because I heard that. And then she said, "You didn't even come home," which means he carried his drunk ass up them steps and slept in that damn apartment that he has over top of Taste. So you not only did you leave your wife in the hospital, you went, got drunk, and you didn't even go back to the hospital, and you didn't even go home. Latrice said every man in her life has left her. We already know she dealt with daddy issues, because hence her being married to a daddy, right? And calling him daddy. I noticed she don't call him that anymore. Notice that she done came off of that daddy shit. Have y'all noticed that? Season 1 and season 2, it was daddy, daddy, daddy. I ain't heard her say daddy in a long time, which is a good thing, but an interesting thing. I believe Cliff is one of the realest reality TV stars that ever exists, like on any show or any franchise. I don't know if he was the realest, but he's definitely real. Whether we like him or not, he real. Whether we like it or not. Baby, when Carrie's husband said he needs subtitles, that shit took me back to Akeisha's husband. When Akeisha's husband said this, when he was like, "I don't understand what he's saying," and they act like he was such an elitist when he said that. No. Most of us can't understand what Cliff is saying. That's why y'all put them subtitles on the camera. Whenever Cliff is talking, most of the time, we get subtitles. So don't act like Willie was an elitist for saying that. Willie wasn't no elitist for saying that. Baby, what's real is real. What's real is real, my love. Shit. Hold on, y'all. I just thought about something I got to put on my to-do list. I've been doing really good with keeping my to-do list. I just got to make sure I write the shit down when I think about it. Sorry, y'all. I have to write this shit down when I'm thinking about it, or I'll forget. Y'all see how long my to-do list is? See all that shit I got to do? Now I'm to the next page. But some of the stuff I did, I just got to mark it off. Anyway. So... I only know what he's saying because I understand country drunk dialect. Now I understand country drunk dialect. Quake, shut up. I mean, little baby, shut up. Oh, I can't stand him. I mean, like, I believe he's... Oh, no, I agree with you. Miss Andrew, baby, I agree with you 100%. Cliff is who he is. Now, that's the truth. Cliff is who he is. Whether we like it or not, you know. I ain't married to his ass. So the other thing Latrice was saying to him was, "I'm worried about leaving the business because you don't know how to run the business." He said, "What you mean? All you do is sit with a laptop and press some buttons. What's the big deal?" And I don't know if people understood what he was saying. Basically, what he was saying was, you can be in the hospital and run this. You can be in the hospital as long as you got your laptop, you know. Like, what you mean you can't run the business while you're recovering? You got your laptop in front of you. That's all you do is press buttons anyway. And it was very disrespectful to what it is she does. He said, listen, I did my part. I didn't bother you when I was doing my part. I built the building. She was like, yes, you built the building, but now the building has to run. And you have taken no interest in running this business. You have taken no interest in how we do payroll, how we do the inventory, what, nothing with social media. Like, you put no work into any of this. It all falls on me. That's exactly what you thought he meant. Yeah, I wonder if everybody caught that, because that's what I thought he meant too. I don't know if you guys saw the interview that Latrice did with Scotty a few years ago, with Scotty and T and JoJo. Now, the interview itself was a disaster for reasons I won't get into right now. But if you watch that video, her phone kept ringing. And every time her phone rang, she said, that's Taste. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the restaurant. I'm sorry, y'all. That's Taste. I'm sorry. They're calling me from Taste. When I say her phone was ringing, if that interview lasted 2 hours, her phone rang every 15 minutes. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. When she was talking to Stormy later on, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to go ahead and say it because I may forget to say it later on. She was talking to Stormy later on this episode, and she was saying how she's going to postpone her surgery because she doesn't think the restaurant can run for that long without her. She has to be down for 4 to 6 weeks. I think I've told y'all this story before. I met this guy one time, when I was doing radio. A guy came through there. He was a business owner. He owned a couple of restaurants and that kind of thing. And he had an opportunity to meet Oprah Winfrey. And Oprah, this is when Oprah was going to Africa when she was building her school, and she was flying back and forth to Africa and stuff. And somehow, I guess, whatever conversation they got on, Oprah said, hey, the next time I go, I think she was going to Africa like sometime in the next couple of weeks. She said, why don't you come with me? She invited him to come with her to Africa to see the school and maybe make some business connections over, I forgot what part of Africa her school was in. And he told her, well, I don't know. He said, well, how long are you going to be there? She said, we'll be there about 2 weeks. And he was like, I don't know if I can go that long. I don't know if I can leave my business for 2 weeks. I don't know how it's going to run for 2 weeks if I'm over in Africa. And he said, I'll never forget what she said to me. She said, if you can't leave for 2 weeks and your business run without you, you're not an entrepreneur. You're a business owner. And he said that thing stuck with him. Because he was like, I had an opportunity to go on an overseas trip with Oprah Winfrey and whoever else, probably Tyler Perry, whoever else she was inviting. And what she was saying was, listen, I can leave my businesses and I have people in place. And I know that my business is going to run. Nothing's going to miss a beat if I'm not here. And she was like, you need it. And they had a further conversation. And, she explained to him, she said, you need to get yourself to a point where your businesses will run whether you are there or not. You have to put the right people in place, make sure they have the right training, make sure you trust them, and you should be able to move freely and do the things you need to do or do the things you want to do, and your businesses work. She said, that is entrepreneurship. If you can't leave without your business running, you are a business owner. And I was like, damn. And I remember him telling us that story. And this was years ago, so I might be missing some parts of the story. But that's the general idea of the story. And that is what I thought about when I heard her talking to Stormy. You can't even have surgery that you need. I think a lot of people act like thyroids is not a big deal when it comes to women because we still get up every day and we still move about and we move about our lives. But baby, anytime, and I'm not saying every doctor, okay, because we know that everything the doctor say ain't always but when the doctor tells you we need to get this out of you, you need to take that seriously. And the fact that you are saying, you know what, I'm not going to do this surgery now because I got to get the restaurant to a place where I can be gone. The problem is this restaurant has been over for a year. You still haven't got the restaurant to that place. So when are you going to get the restaurant to the place where you can move on? Clearly your husband isn't going to do it because you tried to have that conversation with him and he didn't pay attention to nothing you said. He didn't take none of it seriously. He didn't pay attention to none of it. And at the end of the day, you didn't get nothing out of him that you didn't have before y'all had that conversation. You didn't get nothing out of that conversation that you didn't already have. Y'all didn't come to any consensus about you having a baby. Y'all didn't come to any plan or consensus about who's gonna run the restaurant while I have this surgery. Y'all didn't come to any consensus about him taking you seriously, about what you said about him leaving you at the hospital. Y'all did not come to any sort of a consensus on anything. So even though I appreciate production giving us the conversation, baby, we didn't get nothing out that conversation. Next, we have Tambra and Selena. Selena is back from Colombia getting her teeth done. Y'all. Selena, what's wrong with you? Selena, come here. Come here. Right here. Right here. Come here. Selena, a couple of weeks ago, you told us this heartbreaking story about you having a stroke and how hard you worked to get to do the rehab, to be able to walk and talk and do all the things that you wanted to do. We had this whole conversation. And you got your ass on a plane. And you flew all the way down to freaking Colombia to get your teeth done. And not only did you not tell them people that you have high blood pressure because you didn't think it was a big deal when they asked you. And here's the thing. I don't know what the intake forms look like in Colombia, but I know what the intake forms look like in the United States. And what the intake forms in the United States look like, they ask you, do you suffer from any of these things? And it's usually a list of about 20 different diseases. Some diseases I've never heard of before. But let me tell you what's always on that list. High blood pressure is on every list I've ever been to, whether it's the dentist, whether it's the chiropractor, whether it's the orthodontist, whether it's the knee doctor, whether it's the OBGYN. Every single doctor's paperwork that I have ever filled out for a new patient ask you specifically about high blood pressure. Number two, if it's not on the list, you know what is at the bottom of that list? Is there anything else? Like, are there any other that is anything we missed that we need to put on here? Is there anything we missed? So even if it's not on that first one, the second one, it asks you, is there anything else? So even if high blood pressure ain't on there, guess what? You could put it on there. Hypertension, whatever, however they word it. The other thing that's on every single doctor intake sheet that I've ever filled out, what medications are you on? So not only did you not tell them that you suffer from hypertension, not only did you not put it under other in case they didn't ask, when they got to the medicine part, you didn't even put on there that you take this medicine. So that means that you were willfully hiding this. It wasn't that you didn't think the information was important. You were willfully hiding this information because you were scared that they weren't going to do this surgery if you told them this is what you suffer from. Now it makes me wonder, did you tell them you had a stroke in the past? What type of medications are you on from this stroke? Are you not on any other type of medication from the stroke? Really be just a quick detail. The type of surgery that child is going to have is 6 to 7 weeks recovery time. She's delusional if she can't get folks. Oh, wait a minute. If she can't get folks in place. Oh, yes, exactly. When we going to admit Selena's a child? And what I didn't understand was, as her friend, Tambra, why you ain't tap her on her hand a little bit harder? Like, I'm sorry. I feel like I would have had to side eye her and be like, girl, what is wrong with you? What you mean? You didn't tell them. And not only did you not tell them you weren't taking your medicine, girl, you're not taking your medicine. Now I'm about to say something mean. And don't know Selena people drop down in these comments and cuss me out because I'm going to say what I got to say. Don't know Selena people drop down in these comments and cuss me out because I'm going to say what I'm about to say. Baby, that might be how you had your stroke to begin with. You know how I know? Because somebody in my family did the same thing. Doctor told them they had hypertension. They thought they knew better than the doctor. Told the doctor they ain't had no damn hypertension. They was just a little stressed out from their job. Doctor told them they needed to start taking this medicine. They ain't want to take the medicine. They ain't listen to the doctor. You know what happened to them? They fucking had a stroke. Now, thank God it was a mild stroke. It was a warning stroke. The doctor said, baby, this is your body warning you. So you need to start taking your damn medication. Okay? Or the next time, it's going to be real serious. Oh, it's going to be real serious. And y'all sitting here laughing about her not taking her medicine. That's nothing to laugh about because you got your ass on a plane and flew to a whole nother country to have some surgery, which I ain't mad at you about the surgery part of it. But what I am going to make sure is that I'm going to give the doctors all the information they need to make the decision that they need to make. And again, I've never left the country before to have surgery, but I know I've had surgery before. And you know what else you have before they actually do surgery? And I know some people don't think that oral surgery is the same. It is the same. Oral surgery is the same. They usually, the nurse or the nurse practitioner or somebody from the office usually calls you and does like a pre-screening and asks you certain questions before you even go in for the surgery. Now, again, I can't say they do the same thing everywhere. I'm just saying that's been my experience. They sent her back to her hotel room and told her to come back the next day and let's try this again. And then her husband, her husband now, at the time, her fiance, he said that she had extra recovery time because of how long it took them to finish the damn procedure because her blood pressure kept going up. Girl, you want some new teeth that bad? Girl, why you couldn't just go do what I did? I just did me a good old Invisalign. You can still see a little bit of the gap right there. I'm still working on it. But baby, my teeth, y'all saw what my teeth used to look like. They look a whole lot better than they used to. Baby, I got me a good old Invisalign. Part of it is because I don't wear it like I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to have my Invisalign on all day long. But usually once I take it out to eat, I forget to put it back in. But I wear them at night. I wear them every night to bed. And I wear them in the morning. They usually come out around noontime, and then I forget to put them back in. She may have been turned down for surgery in the States due to her non-compliance with her You know what, Kitty Dog? You might be right about that. Now that I think about it, that might be why her ass had to fly down there. That might be why she had to fly down to Colombia, because you're right. Maybe the doctors here said, no, it's too dangerous with your blood pressure, your history of your stroke and stuff like that. Maybe they didn't want to put her on anesthesia. That's a good point, Kitty Dog. Anyway, child, she bought Tamara just talked about what happened, child, while she was gone. No big deal. So the fellas are meeting up at Cliff's soon-to-be man cave. Baby, Cliff got the shell of a man cave with a pool table, a fireplace. Talking about some, I'm a close it in. I'm working on closing it in. Sir, if you don't hurry up and get that damn man cave fixed up, talking about something, I'm finna close it up in the future. I'm with Carrie's husband. It's cold as hell. Y'all got that big ass house and we gotta be outside. Y'all got that big ass house. You don't have a room in that house you can put the pool table and we can film this scene. I understand you building a man cave. I'm not even mad about it. I think every man should have a man cave. I think every marriage, a man should have a man cave. I'm just telling you the truth. I think in every marriage, a man should have somewhere to go. Okay. I just feel like that. And you mean to tell me that you don't have nowhere in that house that you can have them people play some pool? And I mean, I can see if y'all was smoking cigars or something, I could see y'all being outside, but y'all are sitting there. It is literally smoke coming out of y'all mouth when y'all talk. That's how cold it was. And y'all got that damn fireplace. What is that fireplace doing? in that big ass room with that concrete floor. And then Glenn come in there with a backpack with diapers and shit in it. So that's not funny. It wasn't funny when they said you had a baby floating around Jackson. It wasn't funny. Now here you come in there. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Production. I can't understand Cliff or Mike. Don't put them in the same scene together again. I couldn't understand half of what Mike was saying. I couldn't understand half of what Cliff was saying. So I missed half of what they said in this scene. I don't know what the fuck they talked about. Give me some subtitles or something. I don't know what the hell they talked about. They gave me subtitles for Mike. They gave me subtitles for Cliff. And I still don't know what the hell they talked about in this scene. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what they said. I think they talked about that baby again. And who said what? Don't care no more. Cliff, you said something to Mike. Mike said something to Carrie. Carrie brought it back to the girls. Latrice got mad that her husband was in it, and she confronted Carrie. Carrie backpedaled and pussy popped her ass right on out of it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Right, Nisa. Selena needs to know better. Talking about, I want to be here to see my grandkids. I can't tell you want to be here to see your damn grandkids. Anyway, moving right along. Because that scene, whatever. Last but not least, we have Stormy coming to talk to Latrice. We know that right after this was the premiere of Belle Collective Birmingham. So that took us right in to Belle Collective Birmingham. I thought this was a great conversation as well. Again, the production, Carlos King, hello. These are the conversations we want more of. We had a conversation with Latrice. Listen, and I get it that these women aren't friends in real life. Some of these women, and that Latrice and Stormy are friends in real life. So the conversation is going to be a little different. But this is the type of stuff that I need production to do. Production, I need y'all to make these women have these conversations. I loved hearing these two Black business bosses talk about the problems that they're having in their businesses in a real way. I loved hearing Latrice say, look, we just got done building these condos upstairs, but we are having a hard time getting the zoning because the people in the neighborhood don't like what we have going on. Latrice, that's what the fuck we want to hear from you. Like, those are the real stories and conversations we want to hear. Why haven't we seen those condos? Take us on a tour. Call the ladies over and say, y'all, I want to show y'all what, baby, those condos are done. Y'all, I want y'all to see the condos. Call the ladies over and show them the condos, and then go downstairs and have dinner and say, listen, I'm really stressed out because I'm having a hard time getting this zoning for these condos because the people in the neighborhood are having an issue. And no, I don't want to say that they're racist, but I do think there's some racial undertones because we play music and they complain about us, but when the other businesses play music, it's no smoke. They every time we do something, they're filing complaints and they calling and they causing problems, and it's been a real struggle for my business. Those are the kinds of conversations we want to hear. That's real shit. And it doesn't take away from the mess. It doesn't take away from the bullshit y'all want to bring us. But those are real conversations. And then you got Stormy saying, listen, I was the first person in the United States and to have $1 million stream. But I'm not celebrated the way other TikTokers are celebrated. I'm the #1 selling business on TikTok for the United States and for the UK. And I'm not being celebrated in the way that I think I should be celebrated. And you know what else I love that Stormy said? She said, I learned a long time ago. I learned very early on that I'm not the face that they expected to see when it came to my TikTok success. So I take the doors that open for me and I move accordingly. I can't cry about the doors that didn't open. I can't cry about the phone calls I didn't get, the accolades that didn't come. There were 2 doors over there that opened, and I'm gonna walk through those 2 doors. Those are the doors I'm gonna walk through. That thing hit me too, Quake. She said, I can't worry about that. I don't worry about them. All I can do, if people don't want to celebrate me, all I can do is walk through the doors that are open for me. But those are the if we're going to have shows about Black women entrepreneurs, these are real conversations because this is real shit. They still in the South. What's up, Miss French Kids? Hey, boo. They still in the South. And they still dealing with what they look like and when they show up to the table, what the expectation is. I love it. This was the best conversation that we have seen Latrice have as it relates to her business in years. And it was honest. And it was honest in a respectful way. And before somebody say, why they got to be respectful? I'm not saying they have to be respectful, but it was said in a respectful way. Like, look, I ain't trying to say that it's racism, but I do think there's some undertones there. You're right, Latrice. There are. There absolutely are, Latrice. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say, listen, I think we got some real shit here. I love it. Nisa, how you signed up? Because I'm gonna talk about that when I get to the review next time. But the Stormy, I want to be invited to one of your events. I've always liked Stormy, even when she was on Love and Marriage Huntsville and the people started turning on her. I've always liked Stormy. I want Stormy, and I like Stormy. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I like Stormy. I will say this. Well, I'll wait for the next review because we're gonna get into Love and Marriage. I mean, Lord, I say Love and Marriage. We're gonna get into Belle Collective Birmingham, so I'll say it on Belle Collective Birmingham. But that's where this episode ended. Again, I'm gonna end it like I started. This was the best. These last 3 weeks were probably the best 3 Belle Collective episodes in a very long time, in my opinion. For a very long time. Yeah, send it to me, girl. I want to sign up to be an affiliate for Canvas Beauty. I sure do. And I would love to go to one of her events. Sure would. We're going to get to it in a minute, Uncle Jay. Ooh, we're going to get to it in a minute. With that being said, I'm about to get out of here. Now, I scheduled Belle Collective Birmingham. I scheduled it to start at 5:45, but I'm going to go ahead and start it now. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get off of here. I did set up the redirect, but y'all know sometimes it sends you over, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to see y'all. Give me about 5 minutes. I'm just going to put some ice in my cup. I'll put some ice in my cup, and then I'm ready. We're gonna go right. We're gonna roll right on into Birmingham. Okay. All right. I see y'all on the other side. Don't be ignoring you. I didn't ignore nothing. What you talking about? What did you say? Hold on. Let me scroll up. All right. Y'all know I don't read every single comment, y'all. What? Is that what you're talking about when you said I seem like I'd be a very good wife? What you want me to say to that? What you want me to say to that? I'm not being funny. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. That I'd be a very good wife. Maybe it's something else you want me to see. Hold on. Let me scroll up again. That's the last thing I saw that you said, is that I would be a very good wife. That's the last thing I saw. So if it was something else you wanted me to see, baby, I don't know. I didn't see it. Yeah, that's the last thing. No, not that. The email. What email? See, that's if you put a comment, baby, I didn't see it. I don't see anything about an email. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Because I'm not. Oh, I see it now. See, look, I see it now. See, I'm telling y'all think I'm playing stream. Y'all don't put everybody's comments in here. I did not see it. You have questions about the cruise, send me your email. Okay, no problem, baby. I didn't see that. When you saw how far I scrolled up, that literally just popped down. There's a delay with StreamYard, you guys. When y'all post, when y'all comment, I don't know what it is that I saw that comment before I saw the first comment. I don't know why I literally just saw send me your email. I did not see that at first. I promise you I didn't see that at first. But yeah, please, Nisa, send me that information for Stormy. Send it on my Instagram. Send it on my Instagram or send it on my RB the podcast email, please. And Miss Pretty Amazing, here's my email. You can send me a Lord, I can't get it out. You can send me an email there. I have my other email, my RB travel email, but do it to that one. That way I could just use both emails for both things. Nisa, if you have that information, please send it to me. I appreciate it. And Miss French Kiss, I'll forward it to you. If I get it from her, I'll forward it to you. Okay. Or you can put your email in the chat. She can send it to you directly. And Miss Pretty Amazing, go ahead and email me there. Sorry about that, boo. I did not listen. You saw how far I scrolled back. I did not see that. I was like, what am I supposed to say about I make a good wife? I didn't know what to say to that. All right, y'all. I'll be right back. Like I said, let me put some ice in my cup and I'll be right back. All right. Okay. Peace.